Autobots, transform!
Hello everybody, welcome to my toy review. I am George, the 80s Transformers fan, and I'm going to review Transformers War for Cybertron Trilogy Siege figure COG. And here he is in his packaging. Here he is on the side of his packaging, broken down into his components. So I see he's still parts formers. He's a deluxe class figure from Hasbro, and Takara Tomy shared on his packaging. Has Takara at the top, Hasbro at the bottom. Aged 8 and up. He has a little bit of Cybertronian symbol here. Turn him around. Here's the back of the packaging. Here's the product shot. Here's the things he can do. And apparently he's a weaponizer. So, and he's still like a parts former in this line. And you can take him and put him on the other Siege figures. I'm assuming the other deluxe class figures. He looks pretty cool. And I grabbed this figure to complete my Titans Return Fortress Maximus because he was naked without accessories. So, and it spawned a review of my Titans Return Fortress Maximus. So I'm going to get this guy open, see if he's all that I wanted or expected for a companion piece for my Fortress Maximus. So there's nothing further in the box. I don't see instructions behind a little card. He has some instructions, but if you've seen any of my reviews, I don't use instructions. I fumble through the review and sometimes screw it up. But here is his instructions anyway. So I'm going to pop these and get them out. Okay, the figure is free. He comes packaged with 2 guns. They appear to be identical. And they appear to look like Cerebro's guns from the vintage figure. They're styled after Cerebro's vintage guns. On to the figure. Check him out. Bring him a little bit closer. Take a look at his paint work. He has some red paint here at the top of the arms. I believe this is silver paint, not silver plastic across the chest. And then he's mostly blue plastic. Again, red paint down here. Some black plastic here. The wheels are black plastic. The thigh joints are black plastic. He has some black at the tip of the cannons. And that's pretty much for the paint. The paint looks good. Underneath he has some ventilation orange paint under there with blue and black plastic in there. Alright, let's give this guy the once over for his articulation. Can move his head left to right. It actually 360s inside the shoulders. You know, he has a little painted Autobot symbol right there. They work one in there. Thank you for that. His arm 360s. Has the elbow bend. You can get the top of the bicep out to the side like that. And it also rotates at the top of the bicep. And it parts forms, so it comes apart kind of easily. And coming down to his hand, there's nothing there. He has a little molded in cannon. And he has some type of articulation here. I'm assuming that might go with the transformation or the parts formation. Coming down to his waist. His waist 360s. That is cool. That's good. Very good. And again, as I'm moving around, he's just parts forming on his own, and I see some paint splotching, some silver just splatter inside the thigh on both sides. Just splatter inside the thigh there, so that's not cool. But yeah, this is going to be a problem. He's just coming apart on his own, and brings me to the next articulation. He get his leg up that far to the front. This far to the back is hitting this little butt flap here. It swivels. I guess it's just, yeah, and this is just coming right off. That's going to be a problem. Bad idea, bad idea. Get his knee up that far, and his foot will rock. I'm not sure if that's transformation, but there's a hinge there, and it rocks. Nothing front to back or side to side. Yeah, and look, the other leg is just coming off. And I mean, I guess the reason why you get him is so he can do all the parts forming stuff, but man, you know, it's coming off real easy. And I'm sure I can build up the joint with some floor shine or some crazy glue. I use crazy glue because it's faster, but floor shine is what I should recommend. But I use crazy glue. I'm an expert at it. So anyway, here's all weapon up with his guns, Mr. COG. See if we can get him in a cool position, or is he die Decepticon, take that. And I guess he's spin around backwards and kill people from the back. And then like with these little guns here, you can kill aerial attacks. You know what? Before I parts form this guy, I'm going to go ahead and get some comparison out here now because it might be relevant once I start breaking it down. Here is the vintage version of this guy, and you can see the similarities where he takes inspiration, upgrades, and things made new. Still hollowed out in the back. They're saving that plastic. Turn him around. He has actual molded treads this time, and these are a sticker. Has an extra tire. Oh no, they just moved the tire further down, make it more functional. Coming back around to the front, and I didn't realize how much his face was molded to look just like the vintage face. I mean, he looks just like it, except for it's blue. Maybe they should have left it gray. Probably the car version will be gray. But he has the silver painted visor in there. And again, they look a lot alike, which is very cool. Focus, camera, focus. So, yeah, I think that's it. Pull this guy out of here. Focus back on this guy. To parts form him, he has a couple different modes to take COG apart. You move the guns, turn the head around, flip this part down if it'll flip. Take these guns off. I think they just mount the top. I think the silver piece goes on the outside. I'm not going to put the silver piece on the outside. It might come back to bite me later. Reverse the arms. And I see it hinges to something else. But that's not what we're doing right now. Put this over here and still hinging out. Put this down and now you have, I can't think of the separate pieces. Anyway, that's the little doom buggy. It rolls and you take this part. You fold the waist down here. Man, why couldn't they did this to the vintage one where it stays hinged or something? I think, no, the feet don't come out. You take these guns. And I'm sorry, I try to drop the names in on the video. Can't think of the names. And then you have like the two separate pieces. Maybe there's not much clearance for this back wheel here. You can see it. And I don't feel like it's rolling properly. Maybe it's me. It's dragging a little bit. And these are the two separate components. I don't have it turned straight. Maybe they should peg together so you don't have this wobble to stabilize these two pieces. But it looks 1,000 times better than the Generation 1. Let's get this guy going. G1 time. Parts forming. It's almost like this was an afterthought, and it just, even in the G1, it just should have folded over or rotated and folded over because, man, this was, I mean, it's cool to get the extra stuff, and I'm still not sure what is the front and the back. We're going to pretend like this is the front here. Yeah, it's not going smooth. I know that. Hooray for parts forming. I don't want to break it. Wow, I just put that in totally backwards. So much for 80s Transformers fan. And there I go. There this is. And here this is. It's like two tiny wheels and one wheel in the front. And the only reason you know it's a vehicle is because of the tank treads. And here's some poorly molded cannons. And then you just got this battering ram bumper thing in the front. So this is this and this is this. So here are these two pieces side by side. Face, molded face, no paint, still hanging out. And you turn in there. Oh, what a drastic and much needed improvement update. The fists are still hanging out. But they added some cannons so he's a little bit more badass. And then he has these little things. I don't know if this is for a separate mode. Because it shows that he connects to side swipe on the back of the box. And I took a peek at the instructions, and it shows on instruction he connects to side swipe. So I wonder if he only connects to side swipe. So time will tell. So he's all armed up. This is much more badass right here. He has some little cannons in here. They don't fold out, but they're molded in, and they're not painted. They're just gray plastic. And there's his head just hanging out underneath there. And these two pieces, you can see what these treads look monstrous for Cybertronian terrain. And just, yeah, sticker. Okay, yeah. And then they added a wheel. The guns look badass up there. Then he has like actually a molded front of the car a little bit. Maybe these are headlights or something. And yeah, just no. Just no. Why? Why, Hasbro? Why? So we're not done with this mode, because not only did they improve the looks, the play features of this thing, he turns into a super buggy where there's a peg here and there's a peg here, and he just comes in for the connection. And now this thing is really monstrous on the battlefield of Cybertron, is where I imagine him to be, and he's rolling around maybe bringing weapons to guys and transforming and weaponizing with guys. It's not really rolling smooth. I think the failure in this is they don't have a peg or hinge here to keep this little part together to stabilize it, and it doesn't peg together that way. Oh yeah, nah, he's done. He's coming apart. But he looks great. The plastic feels quality. They just could have did better on the pegging system, I think. So he has these guns everywhere, and he's rolling out there. And I think I got this right. Maybe I had this right. I should have had this right. Yeah. The cannons down. And then yeah, you can just see the sloppy paint on the arms as well. I didn't notice that at first, but yeah, the silver just got splotched everywhere. And again, these legs are trying to form apart. So he's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I see he does other things. But other than, man, that coming apart. And eventually, if you play with it, you're a kid. I mean, I'm an adult collector. It's going to go on the shelf next to my piece. But if a kid's playing with this, it has a really cool play feature, it's going to wear out in time, and you won't be able to do anything. You won't be able to do anything with it, other than like I say, build up the joints. Yeah, look, it's barely supporting its own weight. So yeah, that's unfortunate right there. Okay, here he is back in his combined form, his parts form Megabot. And another thing I noticed about him, this hand is awful loose. It can't hold the gun well like the other hand. I wonder why it is. I'm pretty sure it's just a reverse molded piece sculpt, but holds it good over here and not over here. And I'm going to bring out Cerebros to show you how these two guys scale together now. And since he has two guns, I'm going to get one of Cerebros. So picked up his fumble, and he holds it just fine, like it was meant for him. And I'm pretty sure it was. That's why he has two guns, and this looks like the G1 Cerebros gun. Here they are side by side. And taking a look at the blues don't quite match up. COG's blue is a little bit more shiny and glossier, and this is just a flat plastic over here. So they don't match up that well. I guess the centerpiece matches up, but most of COG's plastic is shiny and just a little bit darker if it's coming across well on camera. Trying to see if they got some more similar paint, just a little gray inside there. Similar. Alright, so I got these guys in a little display mode here onto Fortress Maximus in his Fortress mode, and there's nothing you can really do with these guys. Like, they don't fit anywhere, like in none of the little things, compartments or something. You think they would have tried to make sure, I don't know, it had some playability with it, whatever. I guess you could take the guns off and turn them into this little thing and get them in there. I don't know if it'll eject it. Nope. You think they would have put something like that together, but they're so bulky they can't really go anywhere or do anything else. Like, you know, just drop the damn thing in. But I guess he can sit right there without the weapons on him. I don't know if he can. No, the little things on the side are preventing him. The little ports. Or maybe if they had it where they can like actually attach or something. Or like had a purpose to, I don't know, become a tower. Maybe. I guess maybe you can do that. Stick him over there, but there's nothing. And maybe it'd have been cool if they turned into a giant gun for Fortress Maximus too, if they like went Target Master or something, because it looks like it has a part where you can get them into maybe a Target Master or something, but I don't think so. Would have been cool if they turned into a big gun for Fortress Maximus, but that's pretty much all you can do. Okay, to wrap this thing up, my final thoughts on this figure is I'm happy to have it as a companion piece. It looks cool. He has great molded in detail everywhere. The head sculpt looks good. Happy to get the 2 guns. So I got one for him now, one for Cerebros. So that part of my collection is covered. I just need some guns for the big guy to hold in his hand other than the leg cannons. What I don't like is that the little parts forming pieces are really loose and one of the hands won't hold the gun. Now it's holding the gun. And that could be just exclusive to my piece. And the paint was a little bit messed up. And also what I didn't like, the $19.99 price. This guy should have been like 15 bucks, but that's on any toy. You can haggle about the price and not be happy with the price. So if you have a Fort Max, I suggest you pick it up if you're like me and you want it to be a little bit more complete without the third-party touches to it. So I am George, the 80s Transformer fan, and these are the reviews where every toy has a story.
Autobots, transform!